drilled holes in my shoulder and stitched my pec back together. There was a certain amount of time where I could do very little because you have to let the stitching kind of sink in and re-heal. And I'm past that now. So.
And how did you actually do it?
Just with a hip toss maneuver, which is like a judo-based hip throw. Just fell wrong, and I think that initially tore it. I don't think it helped matters that I stayed in the ring for another 15 minutes and then got my ass whipped by Randy Orton afterwards. But I think all things considered, it tore clean off. I couldn't have done any more damage to it. But I knew right when I did it that something was wrong.
October the 1st?
Yeah, it was the first Monday in October, actually. I actually watched the footage for the first time yesterday. They had it on an Italian program, and when the whole thing was over, I was just more upset at myself because it was right before a last man standing match with me and Randy. He's one hell of a competitor. We really have some great matches in the ring, and it's something that I wanted to do, and it just didn't work out that way. I was definitely more upset at myself than anybody else.
And then when you saw him and Triple H have that amazing match, was there part of you think that should be me?
No, you can never think that. I mean, you always want to be there. You always want to be the guy, in the spot to gain a WWE championship, but you can't ever sweat the next man. I was laid up. That's the way it is.
Is there a point you could just say to him, "Oh, I've hurt my shoulder. Can we just finish this up?"
Nope. It's one of those things where you can stop whenever you want to, but sometimes I'm blind with pride, and I take my profession very serious, and I know that people paid good money to see me perform that night, and as long as I didn't move my right arm, I was capable of performing. So that's what I did.
What separates the top guys? Do you see people like Triple H and Shawn Michaels and seen them work with terrible injuries?
I don't think it's something that separates the top from the bottom. I just think it's something that visibly shows the people who genuinely love what they do, and then there are those who don't.
You got to have a sense of pride because without going down the kids and the ladies really loving you, and the proper wrestling guys, the old sort of original ECW sort of fans, not being big fans of John Cena.
Proper wrestling.
I think, I think we turned it around. And you won match of the year. Yourself and Shawn Michaels in London. What a match! I mean, that must have been one of the most proud moments for you.
Well, I guess I need to thank the proper wrestling community for that.
Well, you know what I mean? Because you did the one night stand thing, and it was brilliant with a T-shirt thrown back.
They pay good money to do whatever the hell they want. I don't care what I hear as long as it's noise. If you want to tell me to go to hell, that doesn't mean I'm going to stop believing in what I believe in. I respect the business. I respect the profession. I also think the business needs to grow. I think we should always be pushing forward to try to do bigger events, to try to do more spectacular things. And if I'm hated for that, I don't care. It's not going to change my belief on what I am or what I'm trying to do. I would be more hated if I listened to those guys or girls and switched up my behavior, because it's up to the fans. The fans dictate what they would like to see on our program. And at this point, there are a lot of people who wish I was, buried under 12 feet of concrete next to Jimmy Hoffa, but there are also a lot of people who still believe in what I do. And I think when it comes time for the last person to say, all right, Cena can go to hell, then I'll tell the rest of the people to go to hell. You succeed through hard work, through discipline, and just through getting your hands dirty and getting shit done. I'm not cutting edge. I'm not today. I'm none of those buzzwords. I'm an old-fashioned punch the fucking clock and go to work type of guy,
Is there a part of you that thinks, screw you to those so-called proper
No, not at all. Those proper wrestling fans are the ones that stick around when the business is bad. It's a very tough dichotomy. For our business to grow, we need to attract the casual fan. But when our business is in the skids, it's the quote-unquote proper wrestling fan that's always going to stick behind us. It's not that I don't care that those guys or girls say I can't wrestle. I'm just glad that they're watching, and I'm glad that they're analyzing my stuff so much that I'm under the microscope that much. I mean, everyone is entitled to their opinion, and none of that stuff offends me. All I can do is all anyone can ask of me is go out every night and give everything I got, and that's exactly what I do.
You get a good match out of the great Khali. Which
a lot you've got a lot of respect for. But you got a great match out there.
I think Khali is a hell of a talent. You have an entity that is 7'3", 450 pounds, and looks like he's all muscle. On top of that, he's got a strong Indian heritage. He brings an ethnic flavor to the program. He knows his strengths and he knows his weaknesses, and you have to accommodate accordingly to that. The match is the match. It will be what it will be. but it's the lead up to the match that I enjoy trying to get people interested in what I have to say. Why do I want to see the next John Cena match? It's because I don't like what he's saying and I want him to get his ass whipped, or, man, that's my guy and I want to see him hit the ring and kick some ass. Like, I love doing that. And I think the Khali situation was just that. You got a guy who is virtually unstoppable, and you just go out and see what you can do with the big guy.
So you're same age as me, 30, 31?
30.
30, yeah. Growing up as a wrestling fan, I mean, I really got into it about 88,
Yeah.
so somewhere around there. And then you go up through the 90s, and, you know, I mean, I used to love every program with Jake the Snake and all these guys. Who did you really admire growing up?
I was more of a devout fan as a kid. I got to watch it all, but the stuff that really intrigued me, I mean, I watched everything. I watched World Class, I watched NWA, I watched AWA, because that's when they broadcast it on ESPN in the States. I watched Glow.
They weren't, in fact, that gorgeous if you look at the, you know, the crop of divas now.
You gotta applaud them for trying. The stuff that really intrigued me was the more character-based, the more drama-set story of the World Wrestling Federation. I just liked the fact that these guys were superheroes, and I could look up to a superhero, and it was a real live person. You know, you could go see them live. I dug guys in the NWA like Dusty Rhodes. Dusty was always one of my dad's favorites because here was a superhero that was a common dude too, and you could tell he was a common dude. A child's mind is so unobstructed by anything, and they just get so caught up in wanting to cheer for someone and wanting to hate someone. To me, that's what drives our business. At the end of the day, it's not if you can do a mind straw cradle or a 450 reverse double plancha dive. It's not that. It's, do I give a shit about this guy or do I not? And I think that's the most important thing in our business.
Definitely. Now, tell us a bit about your dad, because some people might know him as just Mr. Cena, who ran down and kicked, but he's actually a bit of a legend in the business.
AKA John Fabulous, self-proclaimed legend. He, you're actually talking to the first reverse second-generation athlete ever. My dad is the reason I actually started watching wrestling. My dad was never big into sports. We were all big into sports as kids. And, you know, he'd go to our Little League games or whatever and not really know what was going on because he didn't know about sports, but he knew about wrestling. And he bought cable way before anybody else because he could get every broadcast. And wrestling was the only time growing up in a house of 5 boys we could beat the shit out of each other and not get penalized for it, because my old man would, you know, he'd love it. Yeah, exactly. So it was like that became the equivalent of me maybe playing catch with my father or me playing football with my father. Like, it was all of us guys watching wrestling with the old man. I was almost like I was being groomed. You could see it. After I had a little bit of success, him having the same name, he jumped at the opportunity to do some local promotion work, and it took off from there. And believe it or not, I mean, it's a shame that he's so damn old, but he's really quite good.
Stayed up and watched Raw last night, and of course it comes on at 2 o'clock in the morning here.
I missed it, so I
stayed
can't
up
wait to see what it looks like.
Yeah, so, as far as you as a competitor in the ring, does that mean you're going to have to work a more stiff style? Because, you know, I watched the football in HD and you can see blades of grass.
No, this is the good thing about HD, and the thing that I guess everybody, like, all the rumors in the locker room, you got to watch the fake tan, and you got to watch.
Sean he needs some lessons watching that.
Man, I like it's a true explanation myself. I am me. This is not ballet. It's a contact business. I hit like a Mack truck, and I don't do any of that stuff. I don't have any elaborate uniforms. I come to the ring in a t-shirt, a pair of sneaks, and some shorts. I don't use fake tan. Sometimes I'm fat. Sometimes I'm skinny. Sometimes I'm white as a ghost. Sometimes I got a good tan. It's just a matter of how much sun I can get that week. I don't doll myself up for TV just because I want people to accept me for who I am. And that's, like I said before, I can't stress this enough. That's either in a negative or a positive, because either way is a result. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
For some of the lower guys now, it's in HD, and there's this move towards sort of having smaller bodies and stuff. Are there guys worried in the locker room?
No, I've never been an advocate of physique carries anything. It's always your ability to produce. But it's been proven with the success of guys like Rey Mysterio, with the success of guys like Shawn Michaels, Randy Orton, Edge, they're not necessarily looking for the next 300-pound, jacked up meathead. It's just, if you put a product forth that people enjoy, then you're successful. I think HD is nothing but positive for the company. If anything, it'll show the mayhem, the absolute hysteria that goes on at a live event, even more so. Sometimes that doesn't translate well to TV.
Can we talk a little bit about OVW?